Hi, my name is Iniedo, and you are watching News Pop.
Hi, lovers. How is your love life and sex life doing? You know you can't have one without the other. If your love life is blossoming, then your sex life will blossom as well. I have news for you today, so don't go anywhere. You're welcome to Eve's Desire by Tiwa Says, and I remain your pleasure coach. So in my previous videos, I gave some tips on how to have a more pleasurable sexual experience this year. But it is important to know that there are some things that can stand in the way of you experiencing these pleasures. And I'm going to be mentioning some today. So without wasting much time, I'll just go right into it. And I'm sure you already know that the first one will have to be communication. Please communicate your needs and wants with your partner this year. If you don't communicate with your partner is just going to deal with you based on assumptions. Let me give you an example. There is this common belief that all women love their boobs sucked. But there's a minority of women who do not derive any pleasure from that. So if you do not talk to your partner, just assuming that you are in the minority, and you do not tell your partner that, oh, this is what I don't derive pleasure from this is what I would rather you do to me, your partner is just going to deal with you based on assumption. He's going to be thinking that, okay, all women love their boobs sucked, so my baby is going to love her boobs sucked. Meanwhile, that is not the case. So please, let's work on communication this year. Talk to your partner, share your desires, your sexual kinks and all with your partner, because if you cannot share your desires with your partner, why are you with the person? This person is supposed to be your significant other, so to say. So you should be able to share, deep things and sexual things, how you want to be treated with your partner, so that you can have a more pleasurable sexual experience this year. So another thing that can hinder you from experiencing utmost pleasure in sex this year is lack of trust. Yes, if there's no trust between you and your partner, you cannot fully give yourself. You will still have your guards up. You will not enjoy the fullness of the sexual pleasure. So I would advocate that, you and your partner, if there's been some trust issues in the past, you and your partner have a conversation about it and resolve it. Because whether you like it or not, it will affect your sexual experience. So another one is stress and distractions. I know it seems like everyone is stressed these days because, the situation of the country, everything is so hard, everybody's uptight, everybody's stressed, and this can also affect your sexual experience because how do you want, it is said that when men don't have money, they don't get it hard on, I don't know how true that is, but it's been said. So, if a man is so stressed that, he can't perform his sexual duties, that is a problem. So the best way is to find ways to combat this stress. And you know that sex itself is a stress reliever. So imagine you being so stressed that you cannot even enjoy what is even going to ease your stress in the first place. So please, let's find ways to deal with stress. I know it's pretty hard now, but what can we do? You just have to find ways to relieve your stress, find a hobby, a sport, hang out with friends. Just do things that will ease the stress a bit for you so that, you can enjoy more pleasurable sexual experience. And that in itself will ease your stress. So another one is body image. It is possible for you not to enjoy sex if you don't have a good body image. If you are conscious of your body, like, my tummy is big. Oh, I have small breasts. Oh, I don't have big bum and all that, all that is going to affect your pleasure, because instead of you to concentrate on what you are doing on the sex, you are concentrating on, what's he thinking? Oh, is he thinking my breast is too small? Oh, is it my tummy is too big? So there's not so much you can do about that, but there are a few things, and one of it is confidence. Whatever your body shape or image, just Be confident in your body. And if there is something that you can do about it, maybe exercise, start going to the gym to keep fit and all that. But you cannot keep fit with breasts. If you have small breasts, keeping fit will not give you bigger breasts. And if you don't want to do BBL and all that, so just have a good body image. Just be confident, because really, in all honesty, all those things do not determine whether sex is good or sex is not good. They are not really big determinants. So you can enjoy sex even if you have small breasts or if you have big breasts. It doesn't matter. So please just have confidence in your body image and let's enjoy the sex. So another thing that can hinder you from experiencing pleasurable sexual experience this year is lack of creativity and variety. I always mention this in my videos that please stop doing mommy and daddy style alone. I'm not saying that, okay, you should not engage in missionary style. Missionary is nice, but then missionary also has different levels also. There's straight missionary and then there are interesting missionary. So missionary is good on its own, but don't do just one style. Don't just surprise your partner. Be inventive, be creative. Don't just do the same things over and over again. Don't have sex in the same place. Have sex in the bathroom, the kitchen. Nobody says you can't have sex anywhere, even in the living, anywhere it meets you. Have sex, but stop doing the same things, because it gets boring, it gets monotonous. If your partner is, even if your partner is not tired of it, you should be tired of it. And I'm sure if your partner is tired and may not be saying it, it can make you start having less sex. And possibly maybe your partner will even start having sex outside with someone who is more adventurous, So for you to have the utmost fun this year in sex, please do different things, do new things, incorporate sex toys, kinks, role play, do different things, and we'll all be fine. So another thing is mismatched libidos. If you and your partner do not have the same type of libido, then there's going to be a problem. If your partner is one who likes a lot of sex and you don't like a lot of sex, obviously you know that there's going to be a problem. So it's either you find a way to work around that, compromise, so to say, because let's look at it this way. I know for a fact that men like morning sex. Almost all men. Let me tell me if I'm wrong, but almost all men like morning sex, early morning sex. Like, that's the best time for a man, because, like I've always said in my other videos as well, that men wake up with a hard on. I don't know how God did it for them, but they always wake up with a hard on, and then that's the time they want to have sex. And I know for a fact that not all women like morning sex. In fact, majority of men don't like morning sex, But because your partner likes morning sex, that is when compromise comes in. That's when you have to compromise. That, okay, because my partner likes sex in the morning, okay, let me just tune my body to having sex in the morning, especially if you are in a long-term relationship, maybe a marriage or a long-term relationship as well. You just compromise that, okay, you do this. There may be something that you also like that your partner is not really into too, but your partner too will do that for you. And, that's where compromise comes in. But if it's a case that, there is no remedy to, then I would advise that you go with someone who matches your libido. And this can happen if you have a conversation. Like I always advocate for communication. In the early stages of the relationship, you communicate. Your likes and dislikes. That, okay, I like sex. Although people like to shy away from sex, I don't know why. But that, oh, I like sex. Oh, I like a lot of sex. Oh, I don't really like sex, So from that stage, you know that, okay, oh, it looks like this person is my kind of person sexually, or it looks like this person is not going to be able to handle me, So from that point on, you will know. Instead of just not having the conversation or closing your eyes to it because you are infatuated or because of something else that you are interested in, and then you not get into the relationship and you not find out that, oh, me, I want it to in the morning, afternoon, evening, and then your partner only wants it 3 times a week or 2 times a week. That's not going to work. So please, let's work on that as well. Another thing that can stop you from having pleasurable sexual experience this year is health issues, physical health issues, And how am I going to put it? I'm going to go straight to saying that, there women have a lot of health issues, so to say, like hormonal problems, like I've heard a joke once that said that, oh, how many times a month is a woman really herself? Because you see that she's having premenstrual something, and then the menstrual thing itself, and then ovulation, and then so it's just a lot. So women have a lot of issues with hormones, and it affects your sexual experience, because if you are, let's look at it this way. I know that when a woman is ovulating, when she's ovulating, she produces a lot of estrogen, so of course she wants sex more then. But sometimes when she's premenstrual, maybe she's close to her period, she might not want sex. Her hormones may just be all over the place. She may not really want sex. And I also know that when, for older women, maybe when they are close to menopause, their hormones just go haywire. And even if it's someone that used to love having sex, all the time, those hormones are going to play a big one, and then she might just not want to have sex anymore, or just like, okay, maybe just once a month or something. So it can be a big issue in relationships, and there are ways to combat it though. There's medication, there's exercise, and all that. So, and also for the men, there's also the problem with erectile dysfunction. There are some men who, when I say erectile, I mean they come quick, instead of staying long. And most women like their partner to stay long, so that they can also enjoy the sexual experience before they both climax. But some men, they just go into it and they can't hold it. That can also be handled with medication and some tips, some physical tips and therapy that you can use for that. And once you do that, I'm sure you'll be fine. And lastly, emotional intimacy issues can affect your having a pleasurable sexual experience. Emotional intimacy is actually very important for, sexual intimacy. If you are not, especially in long-term relationships and serious relationships, if you're just going to be with someone, just a one-night stand, or just for the fun of it, just to have sex and all that, it's fine. You don't have to be emotionally invested. But if you're going to be in a serious relationship with someone, or a long-term relationship with someone, and you're going to be sexually intimate, it is important that there is emotional intimacy, that you are connected emotionally, because that is when you can be vulnerable with each other. And when you're vulnerable with each other, trust me, the sex is great, because you are holding nothing back and you are giving your all, and that is what makes the sex very pleasurable and very great. So if there are issues of emotional, there are emotional intimacy issues. There are things that have to be worked on. And sometimes these emotional intimacy issues occurs when there's been an issue with betrayal, unfaithfulness. Maybe somebody cheated on somebody, or somebody broke somebody's trust and all that, and then the emotions were affected. That can be the cause. But you can always rebuild emotional intimacy, because it is actually very important in having a very pleasurable sexual experience. So guys, these are some of the things that can hinder you from having a pleasurable sexual experience this year. And if anyone seems familiar to you, it is a pointer to a thing or two that you should work on in your relationship, so that you can have the best of each other this year. And I'm sure you have gained one or two things from this video. So why don't you click the like button and also subscribe, so that you can get notifications for our future videos. And I'll be seeing you.
All right, please, ladies and gentlemen, this is News Pop, and I am giving it straight to you from the stables of myself, both me on behalf of myself, my noble self, and my compound people. I give unto you News Pop. Take it, take it, take it.